next time.
You managed to solve the problem, Crunch?
Problem is that?
His hard drive issue.
It's just a matter of how we wanted to tackle it. I think we picked the plan and ran with it. We'll see if the software, you know, he's kind of at the mercy of the software.
Let's see.
He doesn't have a DVD reader or burner, and doesn't have he has a thumb drive, but it's got all of his PII, it's got all his personal shit on it. So I said, nope, it's got old pictures of his grandmother and stuff. That just sounds like a data accident waiting to happen. So I said, nope, put that back in the top drawer in your bedroom and don't touch it. So I'll do a clone. We'll try to do a clone. It's a program called Easus. You can try it with that. The free version should do it.
Yeah.
If it was local, I would do it a different way. Like when I do Kevin's stuff, my buddy Wolf, when I do all his shit, he just either brings it over or I do it all local. I can do it right over LAN. Just do the install over LAN. Pixie boot it. You set it up to PXE and boot it that way. You've got the isols and stuff set up. Nothing to burn. Everything runs right off of it. Brews up. It's no problem. You adjust the image on this computer and then you push it again. You just basically re-push the images. I'll get there. If I was home full time, other computer set up, and I could just run the install from here for them. But you can actually offer that as a service. I have a lot of friends that are starting to do that. It's like they'll install anything you want remotely, a price. They'll give you the license and everything.
Let's see. Surprised you guys are still awake.
I went to sleep. I went to bed and got back up. I went to bed early last night. I was tired. The builders showed up yesterday. I wasn't expecting them. So I was up early talking to people and dealing with bullshit. So I said early to bed, early to rise. Now that I got this mod launcher going and I got it working right, I can, this will keep me busy for a while. What I'm going to start doing is perfecting my own maps in single player and then converting them into multiplayer maps and uploading them to the server.
Alright.
You know, my own version of Naviskeen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have found one visual glitch. Anything in very far away has like a glowing effect to it, like buildings.
Yeah.
So it's like, so it could be the middle of the night and in the distance is a white version of Las Vegas. Like,
yeah, there's the lighting is, they changed a lot of the lighting. They need to tweak it some more. It's definitely buggy. Plus we're using mods, so the combo pack is technically not considered a mod. Some of the buildings that are in it are, it's just the mapping tool is not working correctly right now, but I'm already seeing guys rendering their own maps. I found one a guy posted earlier. He should have it done by the end of the weekend. He's gonna have a full rendering. He said he was looking for testers, so I said, yep, I got maps. I can test your shit for you.
yeah.
So if he comes up with that, I can start rendering some really topographical maps and then make the biomes how I want them. And then really what I was thinking about doing was either taking a random map just to kind of add some challenge, and then maybe passing it around to you guys. It's like, all right, I'm going to do the city at this coordinate. You guys do I want you to fix up the city and put in bigger buildings and fix, not make it new, but make it proper. You know what I mean? Like make it a proper destroyed city.
Yeah.
Make sure all the roads connect. Make sure, everything's more or less coherent. Add a lot of buildings into the empty blocks. Make shit coherent. Put mailboxes out. Put vending machines out. Make it look like a place.
We want a house, a city, and
just like
cars.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like I want it to look like the apocalypse. Like it kind of does now, but randomness. It usually just needs to be tightened up. It's not believable. Like there's the empty spaces. That's really what it's about. Filling up the empty spaces and making it look like an occupied place. Because it doesn't really take a lot and it's fun. I mean, I could do nothing but POIs and be happy. Same with Imperion, really. I could do nothing but draw worlds and draw buildings and structures and just be content with that. Today is my first day I'm switching to coffee with no cream and sugar.
Oh, you're gonna be grumpy as fuck then, yeah?
Well, I got the caffeine, so I'm thinking the grumpy should be not a problem. It's just, it'll take a little getting used to. Rescue said he's got some kind of crazy zero green diabetes. I'm gonna give that a whirl. Because I gotta have my coffee. I can deal with not eating junk. I can deal with not eating bread or sugar or all the other processed shit, but a man needs his coffee. Or his tea, depending on which side of the pond you're on. But I think you know what I mean. I don't know if, are you guys hardcore? Do you guys drink tea the way that we drink coffee still?
I think it's 50-50 now, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's a Starbucks on every corner, so the English tea thing is kind of very much negated.
Well, I mean, the situation kind of changed. You know what I mean? It was, a lot of that came out of the empire in India, but that's kind of what set the whole thing off. There wouldn't have been Starbucks without British tea. Ever. It wouldn't have never happened. The demand wouldn't have been there. Starbucks sucks. I don't like Starbucks. Our chain up here is Dunkin' Donuts, which is almost as fanatical. They like McDonald's now. They want to make food and stuff, but they do make pretty good coffee. Yeah. In the South, they really. There's a few places in the South. There's local brands down there that just second to none. It's the best coffee in the world. I don't care what anybody says. There's some really excellent French coffee too, and Turkish coffee for that matter. Probably the best in the world. But there's a coffee that they do in Louisiana. I had a roommate, my combat buddy was from Louisiana. My mom would send them, and his mom would send, it's called Community. It comes in a red bag, and there's one kind they make it with chicory. They put chicory in it, and the chicory, Americans kind of goof on it. I think it was Martha Stewart. They say the word chicory and they laugh, but man, that shit tastes good. It's like smoked. I can't even explain it. It's like earthy. It's like really, really. You don't need cream, and actually the cream makes it taste even better. But he would get 2 pounds and I would get 2 pounds, and he loved the Dunkin', so we would trade a pound for a pound. I miss Ricky. He was a good battle buddy. He was a funny ass dude.
Yeah. I just went into a house, a small house, and about 10 running extremely powerful zombies came out. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the server. That's why I let you pick. That's why I let you pick any 2 weapons out of the most deadly list of weapons, prized by man.
I think what I need is I think some kind of high-powered explosive device. If you could produce like 300 crates of TNT, I'll just wrap them around all the buildings.
Yeah. I'll put the request in for it. We'll see what headquarters sends back, huh?
I'll do fuck off. A toothpick. Go nuts.
I found a mod this morning. I don't know if you're a big Monty Python fan, but they got the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. Yeah. And it looks just like the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch, and it does a shitload of damage. It's basically a bunker buster.
And here we have the holy, and thou shalt toss thy hand grenade
in thy
into
mercy
the midst of thy enemy. Yeah.
1, 2, 5. 3, sir. 3.
And one will count to 5. Not before 4 and not after 5, but on 5 itself. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And the Lord shall bring down the smite.
and he goes, and bats and anchovies and caterpillars, and he goes on this big giant list. Yes, brother, skip ahead a bit. Thou shalt lob us thy holy hand grenade in thy mercy. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. That was like, we were obsessed with that movie as kids. But yeah, there's a very, very good quality Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. It looks like they were trying to update it for 17.
Is there a way of changing the loot levels? You see, if you're gonna have like 100,000 zombies who run at you, glowing green in a standard everyday shaft of a building, I do think, to balance it out a bit, you need something worthwhile going into, otherwise no one's going to go into any of the buildings, dude.
Well, actually there is, because the loot is still really good quality, and because we're all such high level, you're pretty much guaranteed. I did try raising it, and it made it so overpowered that it became like, why bother? It's like the fat guy, like why bother getting out of bed if you have a stick, you know what I mean? Like, it's completely mailing it in, and it makes it just too easy. So what I'm doing is basically, and we'll have to see how many people end up playing. If it ends up just being us, I'll keep individually handing out ammo. Like, I'm gonna turn the admin off for you guys, and you guys are gonna run out of ammo. So I'll either probably do a central location and just load it. You know, don't go crazy and grab more than you need, because I don't want lost, but take what you need when you need it. That's kind of why I wanted everybody to declare 2 weapons, because that way, minimum, I can always leave you a couple of thousand rounds of 2 different types of ammo. And even better, if you find 2 weapons you like that use the same ammo, I'll even give you more ammo than that. But yeah, I was kind of thinking. Actually, I haven't walked around the map. I don't have a lot of. You know what? I just deleted the install that I created specifically for playing on the server. So now I have to redo it. Oh wait, it didn't go away. What the hell?
I'm burning through a lot of ammunition.
Yeah.
And they're running all the time.
Yeah, and then that's the thing, is they're not to run all the time. They're still set. If you run into one in a field, he's not gonna run at you.
Well, these things are fucking running at me, dude.
That's because they were inside a building. Anything that's inside of a building, if you trigger them, and I don't know how the triggers are set with this compo pack. If you're setting them off that easy, probably they're set on very hairpin. I need to see what the hell I actually did. This menu is starting to confuse me. Okay, 7 days back. Okay, so it is there. I'm gonna catch up with you here.
I'm on the kite, these zombies are crazy.
Yeah, it's the name of the game now is kiting. But here's the thing to remember. There's 2 things I want you to know about kiting in here. If you accept the missions, there's basically missions that the traders will offer you now. If you do the missions and the mission is to clear out a building, if you try to kite it and you leave the play area, you lose the mission. So you have to kind of plan on either some kind of defensive position or close quarters if you're getting paid to clear them out.
And close quarters with this.
Get yourself an SMG. You got to get yourself a close quarters weapon. There's actually a couple of the modded ones are actually good. You need weapons that can blow back damage. That's the biggest thing. Keep at least 2 or 3 weapons on your tool belt. It's a different game, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's definitely a lot harder, but it's pretty rewarding because I give everybody unlimited ammo.
There's so much ammunition. See, I get where you're coming from. The problem is I've went through about 400 rounds of rifle ammunition and I haven't killed a single one of them.
Have you leveled your character up yet?
Yeah, it's all maxed out. I've maxed out all the ammunition and so forth. The problem is, if you were to do that, for example, the only way to survive fighting these is to kite them. It's the only way to actually do it, and even then you've got to go for the headshots, but because the scope is so... See, when you go into scope, the mouse settings should slow down a bit to give you that sort of fine adjustment, but they're so finicky left and right. It's like you're not like scoped in, and the problem is that you're missing the headshot all the time, so you have to go for the body shot, especially when they're running towards you because they're just running around left, right and centre. obviously can't hit them in the head to get that bonus damage. And then as soon as I've killed them, by the time I get back to the house, they've all respawned. So imagine if I start a new game and I turn up, you're just going to die all the time. And then basically, as the days progress, these zombies are meant to get harder and harder and harder. Yeah? So basically, imagine if I'm a new player starting at day 50. There's nowhere in God's given earth you'd be able to enter a single house or go anywhere near a zombie where any of the loot is. So you're going to have to team up, which is understandable, and join a group. So I get where you're coming from, but I think they either have too many hit points or you slow them down. Does that make sense?
No.
They are literally running around like World War Z.
Well, now here's two things. One is all the buildings, or the majority of the buildings that I've seen so far since I loaded the map, are the ones that have been ported over, and they're not vanilla buildings. The behavior with the vanilla buildings, it's a lot harder to wake them up. The whole point of them putting those the ninja and the bat and the all those stealth abilities, they were put in there because you can clear even the biggest POIs if your stealth scores are good enough and you have a good hand weapon. If you're careful about it and you're quiet, like you know the garbage that when you walk over it makes noise. They really utilize that now. Like if you trip over those, you'll end up triggering the zombies. So it's almost by intention that they're like that. That said, I think that the buildings that they modded over from 16, the zombies seem a lot more temperamental, but there's also not as many radiated zombies. Now the other thing that you need to remember is that those radiated zombies regenerate hit points. So a lot of times, even if they're not respawning, if you have 5 of them in there and you kill, only 2 will respawn.
Well, in this one small house, I think there was it 5 or 6 radiated zombies, 2 spitters, 2 sorts of spitters.
Wow, that's a trigger. That house was built. That's because it's a modded house, probably. Only the big buildings have that many.
Killed. What else was in it? I recorded all that. I'll have to go through the footage and count them all, but it's gonna be. I think it does need a bit of balancing. I get where you're coming from, but you also got to remember that everything's meant to get harder as the game progresses. Hence the 7 days to die game, you know, as we know. So, and this is what, day 3 or day 5?
It does. It gets a hell of a lot harder. The zombies get more numbers, and they get a lot harder.
Yeah. All of us have played before, and
oh yeah.
We're also taking, we've already got end game weapons. Like, I'm not worried about it.
Oh yeah, I'm just experimenting, but in regards to like when we eventually start a proper server.
Oh, I wouldn't do this shit on a regular server. I set it to 3, and then usually do the loot respawns at 14 days. Pump the animals up a little bit so that everybody gets enough to eat. But if you're gonna balance that, usually the reason I pump the animals up, bringing the count down, because it's already high now. This new radiated thing, like they want the zombies, they want us to be chewing through ammunition.
Yeah, well if that's the case, then there has to be a balance in regards to the accessibility to it. Until you've got an established base and like the resources obviously within that group, it's going to be very touch and go. Because also on top of that as well, the buildings collapsing on themselves, you've got a lot more traps.
Yeah, there's a buff that they put in now. If you look in the code, if you go in your single player, look at your, I don't know what it's called in single player, the server config, there's a buffer that they give you now. Until you get to a certain level, zombies won't spawn around you. It's like a safe zone for new people. And I do have that in effect. But the thing was, we nerfed it because we gave everybody full levels. Again, with this many Supermen running around, I'm gonna kind of do what I'm gonna do with it because everybody's, you know, if there's deficiencies, we'll fix them the same way we built everything else up. You know what I mean? It's not really a regular server build, and it could get wiped tomorrow. You know what I mean? But it's got a bunch of unique POIs in it, and you got to work for it. You're gonna find more loot on this map probably than you'll ever find in. It's not really meant to be realistic, other than the fact that I want to build some nice stuff. But other than that, you know. And really on this version, I don't even care if I don't, because I've got a single player game going that I'm not using any cheats, I'm using the admin tools and basically keeping my character fed. Sometimes I even turn the zombies off if I want to build and then I turn them back on. We could also do that. That's the other thing about doing Feast for Family. I can shut the zombies off and only have them they're going to be as absolutely horrible as I can make them. Oh. You know what I mean?
Right, okay, well, I've just went back after fighting everything, and the zombies are all back. Fuck. Okay.
You got a sniper rifle?
I'm fucking working on it, dude. I'm slowly working on it. It's interesting.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I've got that drive installed, but it's not showing.
Okay, go into powered and what cable? Where did you plug in? Was there a cable already plugged in? A SATA cable?
I just swapped the cable from that 1 terabyte over to this one. Now it's showing up in my device manager, but it's not showing up in my drive manager on this one.
Yeah, you have to format it first. So you're gonna go back to this PC in your start menu and right click on it.
It's not showing up there. That's the problem. I can see it in the device manager, but it's not showing up under this. Or wait,
I got you. Go to this PC and right click and go to manage. I know exactly what we gotta do. When you hit that, the computer management box is gonna come up. You know what I'd really like to do, Krager?
What's that?
The kid who gave us all the weapons. There's actually a bunch of other shit he put in there. There's a lot of stuff that he gave. I'm gonna try to put it in the vending machine so everybody can get at it. I'm gonna ask him for a couple of things, but one of the things I'm thinking of asking for, it seems like they fixed the issues with spawning around bedrolls. I'm gonna ask him to create a device that has all the properties of a bedroll, except it's not tied to a player. Once it's put down, it's not tied to us. Like, you can do multiples of them. And we'll change the icon from a bedroll to a burning barrel that's green, and change the fire on the inside to either green smoke, green fire, and we'll call it a zombie deterrent. We'll make it a really crazy, insanely expensive recipe to make, and set one of these barrels up and you put this fuel in it, and it'll basically stop zombies the same way, stop zombies from spawning the same way a bedroll does. And each player is allowed to have up to 10 of them on the board at any time. We could take over a whole city that way.
Yeah.
Works much better than clean block. Zombies aren't trying to build, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm listening. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to kill these 2 feral zombies that are spawning in this house, too. They have a hell of a lot of hit points.
Kite away. Go for headshots from a distance.
I do, but as you start to die, your obviously your stamina levels max goes down, and then you eventually run out of stamina to catch you up.
What do you have for armor on? You're the first person that I've heard of dying with level 300. Like, Kevin had never played this game before, and he didn't
Military vest, the other day. Purple, iron gloves, and a pair of military boots.
So you're just a hopeless bastard. I don't know, man. No one else was dying. You have so much stamina that, like, there's no way that even the pharaohs
down
can outrun them.
60 now because I died a couple of times. You lose about 20 to your max every time you die.
I thought about nerfing. I can nerf that out. I can hear you, dude.
I can hear you now.
Been trying to get this thing to go through for 30 minutes and it won't fucking trans.
Okay.
So, in the BIOS, yeah, it's all detected, yeah.
He doesn't need to go in. He needs to go into
For some reason, when I click off the goddamn Discord, it quits fucking trans. A piece of shit.
Oh, okay. Did you get that computer management screen open?
Yeah. I've been trying. I've said it like 15 times. Which one do I need to use? The MRB or Master Boot Record or GPT, the guide partition?
Try MBR. MBR, I think is, because it's over a certain size and that's a basic disk. Oh shit though, you're doing an opera. Yeah, you know what? You'll just format it again. We just need to see it. If it needs to change it, it should change it. There's no
this goddamn. But what the fuck is wrong with Discord? Shit.
I don't know.
Did you start it up as the administrator?
I never use that administrator shit. I've never had to use that before. Nah, I think he's default set to admin. I was fixing some stuff for him earlier and
it's red. It shows the disc as disc 1. I've got disc 0 and disc 1, both of them the exact same size, and the disc 1 would be the soft.
Okay, so the new drive, now that you formatted it, you can.
It's not been formatted. It just allocated it so that it could recognize it. It's not been formatted.
Okay. You might not need to format it because I'm not sure.
It's not showing up in the list still under this computer because it doesn't have a file partition.
Well, it doesn't have a it probably also doesn't have a letter.
No, it doesn't. It's just disc 1. That's it.
Yeah.
No letter, no nothing. So I need to format it, I guess, for it to even recognize that.
Well, the only thing to be careful with that is remember that you're turning this into an operating system, and the formatting is sometimes different from storage drives to operating system drives. So at this point now that you know it's recognized, see if you can open it in that software. If you can't, then we should probably get it ready like it's another drive. We should be able to. You have no data on it, so it's not like you can lose anything and switch formats. But like I said,
this fucking thing. Yeah, it's making me mad.
Mom probably won't be here. It's 7:30 right now. Mom won't be here till like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So like, I've really got nothing else happening unless people start dropping by. I can help you most of the morning. I've literally done this. I'm not bullshitting you. I've probably done this 2,500 times. I could do it in my sleep. I've done it in different languages.
This thing just says unallocated. So until I format or do something with it, nothing's gonna recognize.
Well, it might, if it's seeing the drive, if it's seeing the raw drive, that's what we need to see, because like Partition Magic sees it. So that eases program might already see it. So what you want to do now is see if you can start it now and see if it doesn't like it, see if it squawks and tells you, oh, it has to be in this format, because then you at least know directly which format you want to format it to. And it's not like we can't switch it back, but what happens a lot of times is you make it one format, then you copy a bunch of shit onto it, then realize you fucked up with the wrong format. But then to change it, you have to pull the data off another drive because the one you're on is the replacement one and your old one's dead or dying. It's a pain in the ass, but that's why it's a good reason to have 20 drives. Like I buy them if they have sales. It's like I'll just buy them arbitrarily, even if I don't need them. If they're cheap enough, you get a bunch of them.